Hello, and welcome to qualifying for our 2021 edition of the Galactic Pod Racing Circuit. I am Paige. You probably know me as Enfro from the previous tournaments. And I'm joined today by Game Draco, who's been doing a lot of the commentary the last couple events.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and now I'm a staff member for this year, so I'm really looking forward to it. This was a part of the qualifying track committee this year, too, so we chose Mageius1 Speedway in honor of David Stubbs, who's suffering from terminal illness, tragically, but he was a legendary runner from the era that I was in with Mike.
Yeah, no, you guys basically laid the foundation for what we've got now. Real quick, thank you to Ace, who's currently top runner on the planet for this game, rating with the party of 11 for this run. But today we've got the winner of the King Bean won the first one, right? Like he won our 2019.
He's the 2019 champion. Yes.
Metallica, who is a top runner in his own right, hasn't quite cracked the top 3, top 4 level yet, but he's right there with them. And then we have Beleos and Mageius, who are both Beleos is a much newer runner, and Mageius has been around for a while, but he's a lot more casual about the game. So we've got basically all skill levels represented here right now.
Yeah, which is kind of neat, because kingbeandip, he won the 2019 tournament and came in third last year and placed second in qualifying. He's also the favorite to place third in this year's qualifying.
Mm-hmm. He's right there with Domare and Ace on every track except Grabvine Gateway, where he's a couple of seconds behind. He's got a case for qualifying right there with them, but he'd have to PB Grabvine to take first.
Yeah, and he's still one of only 4 to ever break sub 410.
Yep. But with that, let's focus on Mageius1 Speedway, where we can expect everyone to finish in less than a minute and 2 of them to finish in 41 seconds or less.
Yeah, I like to say this is a blink and you miss it track.
Oh yeah. But I'm going to give the players the countdown because they're all sitting on the ready screen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get right underway with the 8 minutes of Mageius1 Speedway. All right, they have been given the countdown. So this track is very, very short, very, very straightforward, and it is just left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn. There's one right turn in the entire track.
Yeah, it's short.
It's a NASCAR track.
Yes, I'd agree. It's closest to an oval, though. Punta Training is also, I'd say, close to NASCAR too.
Yep, but King Bean is the first one out of the gate, just on stream delay purposes. And we're seeing what he's got. 14:34 lap 1 is solid.
He hasn't started the timer yet.
Stream. No, I needed to look at the right stream because I was looking at the not commentary stream. I was looking at Twitch. So King Bean's not actually off. Now they should be going off. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I see Metallica's first one off.
Yeah, okay. Metallica's first one off the line, and you'll get to see lap 1 of this track is very simple. It's really just boosting and going. Maximize your boost time. Try to avoid walls. You've got 8 minutes to get the best time you can do. 14:57 is really good for the strat Metallica went with. That death kind of seals that, though. King Bean's doing a similar strat, 14:51 to start, which is a pretty good pace for it. Doing that little boost split at the midpoint of lap 1 lets you have a much better heat going into laps 2 and 3. But it does make things a little trickier because your boost allowance at the end is a little tighter. And King Bean is not going to finish max heat. That's going to be a 41. And that's a safe place to start at. 41.231 is his initial benchmark. Beleos came through with 1 minute flat, basically. But Beleos is on a much slower pod.
Yeah, Bullseye he's not really fast compared to other ones, but he's really reliable.
In a way, he does have durability problems. He is the most fragile vehicle in the game. Except for maybe someone like Slide.
I think Slide is the most fragile, and Bullseye's just behind.
Okay. But Bullseye does have the distinction of being the best pod on 2 tracks. Ben, who literally... Yep. Ben, who everyone else is playing, has the distinction of being the best on 23 tracks. He's kind of fast. Ooh, Mageius just kind of rubbing the entire outside end of the hairpin and dying. It's not... Mageius fans hate to see it. Ooh, good starting line out of King Bean.
He just got a 40.
40.6, I believe I saw.
Yeah, I think it was 638.
14.04 lap 1. That's really fast. But it was the higher heat strat, so we'll see. Ooh, wide hairpin. That kind of rules out the sub 40. And that was pretty wide too.
Beleos came in with a 50.
That's an improvement. Ooh, this could be really good for King Bean. 40.47 and 40.72 for Metallica. 2 of them are looking really good here. Whose stream are we getting audio for at the moment?
I have no idea.
It appears to be Beleos. No, that's a Ben death sound. I can't tell. Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's interesting how you talk about Mageius Speedway. Boom to Trains, I would say, is close to a NASCAR track, too. It's not that... It's probably more oval than this one.
Yes, but that one has some... that one has a little more variety in each turn. This one is straight up. You are going left, left, right, left, left, left. Oh, 40.16.
40.159 for King Bean Dip. And it's funny, you talk about if this is a NASCAR track, then we also have the exact polar opposite track in comparison to Mageius Speedway on this run in Gravine Gateway, which is like F1 Nürburgring.
Yeah. Oh, it's worse. It is so terrifying to play on a Grabvine. Let me pop that out. Sorry, I'm getting some back-end stuff set up. We did have Beleos' audio going. We now are running with King Bean Dips. So that might just blow people's ears out.
Good.
That might blow people's ears out, but we can turn that down if needed.
12.89.
Yep. I mean, 12.89 isn't like a crazy time here for a lap. It's pretty good though. What did King Bean just get?
Not quite.
40.211. That's really good. Beleos bouncing around a bit. 55.30. Mageius is looking exploded.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he's really having some trouble there. He's got a complete one.
Yeah, I don't want him to get the DNF.
I mean, this is definitely the least impactful track to DNF. He's going through and doing some settings changes, it looks like. Meanwhile, King Bean and Beleos are going at it. Metallica's stream has gone dark. I'm going to see what we can do.
Metallica's just came back.
Okay. I believe he's locally recording as a backup, because that's something that's been known to happen. That, 40.3 for King Bean. It's very easy to bleed out a little bit of time on just some very slightly wide bits.
Yeah, this track is probably the most mastered in the whole game, too.
Yes. This track is incredibly optimized. But, see, this is looking decent for Metallica. 40.43.
40.425.
That's very solid. Ooh, Mageius just boosting straight into a wall. Hate to see it. Okay, so Beleos has since switched to Ben. I didn't actually see that happen. But he got a 50 seconds with Bullseye. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
40.19 for King Bean. Currently, first place on this track is Damiroy with a 39.905. He went absolutely, like, blazingly fast here.
Yeah, his times were bonkers to watch for qualifying.
Yeah. Oh, Mageius is breaking out the slide.
He is very fond of using slide.
I mean, I feel like most people are. He's just fun.
I really hate using him.
You also play on 64, which is a little harder for that.
Yeah, but he usually is like at low frame rates. He has a tendency to oversteer because he's so greasy and turn responsive.
We're coming up on everybody's last attempt here. King Bean 40.11. This is everybody's last attempt. Metallica's not going to have time. Yes, Beleos and Mageius are both on their final attempts. King Bean is launching his final attempt with 2 seconds left on the clock. We will see how that goes.
And Beleos is starting a new attempt right on the buzzer.
We can allow it, I think.
Yeah, he started literally on the buzzer, and 40.67, so we're all on their final runs. So they're all on their final runs now.
Yep. I don't think this can qualify or PB for King Bean at this point.
Yeah, not at all.
No. But still a respectable time, 40.11, I believe.
Yep. And Mageius coming in.
We got a 40.1. Yeah. We got a 40.125
103.509 for Mageius.
Okay. Hey, that is better than the penalty time. Penalty time on this one is 1 minute and 30 seconds. It is a lot for this track.
Yeah. And now we are moving on to Doug Derby.
Yeah. So Doug Derby. If you see the overhead map and you are familiar with real-world tracks, you might recognize Laguna Seca.
Yes, it's basically a copy of it, and I even found which parts of the tracks have names. It's so well known.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is just a carbon copy.
So this first hairpin King Beandip just went through is the Andretti hairpin on the track.
So, if you thought 8 minutes for... we have told Mageius time was up, by the way.
Yeah.
If you thought 8 minutes for Mangaza Speedway was tough, if anything, 15 for Doug Derby is even more ridiculous because it is one of the hardest tracks in the game. It is incredibly dense and technical, specifically for stuff like that chicane King Bean went through. It is...
Which in real life is the corkscrew, which is one of the most infamous turns of any real-life racetrack.
It's a new lap record.
Just, claiming my channel points. But this track expects some carnage. The front half of Doug Derby is hard. If anything, though, to me the hairpin, or to me the chicane isn't the hardest part.
It's a new lap record.
The hardest part of this track for me is the long turn immediately after the opening hairpin. Because you start your boost on it incredibly early, and you have to hold it through the entire turn. And yes, Nacho, May just got his MGS time with slide. Like, you have to hold that boost through that turn the entire way, and it is quite difficult.
Especially with Ben because he's so stiff turning.
Yeah. It's flip those walls. Best case scenario, you lose your boost, and if you lose that once, you can't overheat the line at the end.
Yeah, and Beleos is using Bullseye, which is what my record was done with.
Bullseye and Mars are both completely viable on this track. Bullseye, I believe you can get a 135-ish.
I'm not so sure. I know I got 139 with Bullseye back in the day, and I think Hayudoro got like 138, 137 with Bullseye.
Then it can be like a 137, probably 136, 137 with Bullseye.
Yeah.
But Ben is definitely fastest. Mars can get to the mid 130s as well.
Yeah, and also Mahonic also can do that too.
All right, players have been given the go-ahead. We're going to have 15 minutes of trying to complete Laguna Seca as quickly as possible.
Yep, we're going to start off with the Andretti hairpin, sharp hairpin, jump, roll straight, corkscrew, rainy curve, and then towards the end.
I love that the ending just doesn't have names.
Yeah. Those are the only parts that have names. And the corkscrew in real life, it gives you a combination of negative lateral and positive G all within the space of maybe a second or less, which is what makes it so brutal.
Granted, that doesn't really come into play here. It's just a weird turn that you have to switch back immediately.
Yeah, and with Ben, because he's so stiff, there's only like only one line that works well.
You can realistically get two lines. They're like two semi-viable lines. One is definitely better than the other, though. All right, let's see. King Bean's at the gate and immediately too tight on the turn. That's what I was talking about when I was saying that's a really hard turn to get. Let's see if Mageius can manage it first try. He started the boost a lot later, so he took that pretty safe. King Bean is starting it. Yeah, King Bean has started that very early, and he held it through this time. Good start that time for King Bean. Metallica is still looking solid. I think this is going to be a 33 lap one.
Yeah, corkscrew for King Bean.
Clean. 32.88 for Metallica. And King Bean with the 32.28, so he's 0.6 up. Beleos with the 43-second lap one, and Mageius with the restarted lap one. But King Bean looking really good through there. His heat's not looking incredible, but it's solid enough.
31.50.
It's a new lap record.
30.64 for kingbeandip.
But yeah, as you might be able to tell, this track, just even looking at it being played, you can tell it is absolutely brutal. I think Mageius has too many red engines to count. Oh, King Bean with a little bit of buffering, but we'll see. There we go.
Well, also it's considered, I think, one of the top 5 hardest tracks in the game.
Yeah, it's typically the big 3 Barunda, and then it's like it's kind of a toss-up between the big 3 Barundas, this one, and Bunta Classic and Bumpy's Breakers. Like they're kind of in a tier of their own for difficulty, with Grabvine at the top. Baroon Coast with Ben is right up there, though.
Yeah.
32.95 lap 1 for Metallica. That's pretty good. King Bean, good heat on that first turn. see what he can manage here. Apparently he can manage some frame drops. But yeah, this track is nasty. 32.03.
That's really solid for our first lap.
That is ahead of my PB by a little under a tenth for lap 1. So that's looking really good. I know King Bean's on a level where he can get a 132, but he said himself that this isn't one of his preferred tracks. Or at least not one of the ones he feels he excels at. 30.3 effectively. That's really nuts.
135.01 for Metallica.
It's not bad. King Bean's on like really good 132 pace.
135.009 for Metallica.
All right, watch the back half of King Bean's lap 3. This is where it's going to be do or die for his 132 for this attempt. But this is really looking solid. 28 out of the last turn. Yes, he's got it. 132.91.
132.91. I think that's second overall after Dumray.
Yes, it is.
32.908, it looks like.
That's really good.
Yeah. King Bean Dip. He's reckless, but a real
corner.
crowd pleaser. That was actually what they said for Odie Mandrell in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, he's reckless, but a real crowd pleaser. But King Bean Dip is just known for going for broke, even among players.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at these bottom two screens, though. We haven't talked much about Beleos and Mageius on this track, and it is as cool as it is to see two super top players doing this. Look at how difficult this is for even two like competent players trying to go fast on a track like this.
207.428 for Beleos.
Yep. And 207 isn't great, but it's better than not finishing.
Yes.
And let's see what Mageius winds up with. He really doesn't like that hairpin. And he's taking the long route, and he's just kind of driving into the right wall. I get the feeling something's up with his controller right now.
Yeah, he went up to the menu to adjust it, and I think he's going back to it.
Ooh, Beleos straight into the hairpin, or straight into the chicane. And by that I mean he tried to go straight through the chicane.
Yeah.
Not exactly ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, roll straight into corkscrew, really jarring.
I mean, it doesn't help that that straightaway leading up to the corkscrew is really tight, and the side that it's tight on shifts twice. Like if you watch, the wall crowds in from the right, then the left, then the right, I believe. It is a very weird wall. Beleos, he makes it through the corkscrew alive this time. That is good. Mageius, that's a wall. Ooh, Beleos clipping that wall. Mageius scraping until he dies.
He was hit warning, then boosted.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that instantly blew you up until very recently.
Yeah, all I knew was that I don't think I knew that at first either, because whenever I hit warning, all I knew is that it means you'll blow up for certain unless you repair it in a few seconds.
Oh yeah. Ooh, let's take a look at Metallica. That was a good lap too. Let's see what he does here. If he makes it through this corkscrew. He does.
He does.
No contact on the wall. He's going full speed.
I think he might be busting 135.
This is a 34. It's a 34. 34.8. That's not half bad.
8. Oh.
No, to answer your question in chat, Mikey, I didn't realize if you tried to boost while an engine was blinking warning, it would immediately blow up the engine. I didn't know that until recently, because I tended not to boost when I was red engine. I immediately repaired. And then I tried lap 3 of trying Fast Canyon.
130.
You might want to disconnect and reconnect, Draco. You're going full robot.
We got 134.
Yeah. So we're having some audio problems on Draco's end. But coming into this, King Bean with... Oh, that was a little rough from King Bean. Metallica looking good through the first start. Let's see if he gets through this chicane. He does. He's definitely taking it more and more aggressive on heat as this attempt goes on. But still running a lot lower heat than King Bean in general. Okay, nope. Draco's still losing audio. Real quick, Death Chat, is my audio okay? Okay. Alright. Continuing to look at Metallica right now. Let's see, that turn is deceptively hard. That little turn before the roll straight in the chicane. But he did make it through it, no problem. Because you have to hold your boost, it just makes it a little tricky. King Bean going strong through going strong into the roll straight, taking a very tight line, and let's see his corkscrew. He makes it. Some slight wall contact though. BBK, it just depends on schedule, and it's basically first come, first serve with some adjustments based on viewer numbers for each game. Beleos has also switched to Ben. That was a weird full stop.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben is pretty hard to use here. It's like, he's certainly the fastest. I'm not so sure who's second fastest. I think it's either Mahonic or Mars.
It is Bowles. Bowles is still the second fastest, but Mars is number 3 just for ease of use and consistency.
Yeah. Mars is just... He's reliable and fast on this track.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Mars has basically all of Bullseye's strengths to a lesser extent, and his boost covers the same distance as Ben's, just slower. So Mars is a really interesting middle ground between the two, just because he has so much boost uptime. Yeah.
It's also why he tends to be used so much with Bullseye and Ben, too. He's kind of in between them. Because basically, if you want to know that...
That was a 48 lap for Mageius. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Because basically, if you really want to get good in this game, you need to know EB, Bullseye, Ben, and Mars at the minimum.
I mean, EB only if you're doing RTA runs.
RTA runs, yeah. But
if you're not doing them, you don't have to bother.
Yeah. But otherwise, you'll be using Mars, Bullseye, and Ben for certain.
Hey, Mike, I'd rather he dodge the falling rock than drive right into it. Ooh, what did... Okay, we just reset. Okay.
Not quite enough for Metallica.
It's not a bad run, though. 34.9 is a solid time.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I'd be pretty happy with on my qualifying. Oh, I didn't even realize. Mageius just took the short path. He's learning. Ah, he's actually looking quite a bit better on this attempt. And he just forgot the chicane existed. But it looks like he's going to beat out the penalty lap time. I think.
Gotta come close to it, though.
Hey, as long as it's faster than a 230, which it looks like it will be. Why did he release thrust?
226. 226.952, it looks like.
Hey, it's not a 230.
Yeah. I'm really wondering what's going to happen on Gravine Gateway, because the penalty time's 730, and when he did this track fully upgraded last year, he got 830.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happened with King Bean Dip. That was a nice little start to that run. Very tight line through that bend and good through the straight. Clean corkscrew, and if he gets a clean back half, we're up to a really good start.
The slight scrape.
Doesn't seem like a big deal. 30.7 lap for Metallica. That's his fastest of the session. 32.2 for King Bean. That's still possible to beat his 132. Yeah, that was a really nice lap 2 start too. Good line.
Oh yeah, Metallica's doing really good here.
Yeah, I'm looking at King Bean too. Metallica might get a 33 here. It's gonna be close. No, but it is a PB. 134.4.
It's a new lap.
134.42.
King Bean's on pace to beat his 132. See what he gets with this line. Not too bad. Took it a little safe.
134.1416.
Oh. King Bean throwing that attempt last second. All right, Metallica is opting to just sit on that 134, give his hands a break before the biggest test of the session. Oh, I didn't even notice Mageius was on Ben. Beleos, 20 seconds going into the roll straight with bullseye. That's not too bad. Through the corkscrew without too much trouble. He did slow down some. Okay. Looking like this will be about a 40-second lap. That's not bad for him. Like, for bullseye, that's a respectable lap. See how he does on the second chicane. All right, this is going to be the final attempt for all of our runners.
King Bean starts on the buzzer.
It's totally fine, and this is the challenge. This is timer being done, so... Ooh. Beleos in the red, opting to just go fast. I can respect that. See what he can do with this turn. Ooh, Mageius, he got a lap record. All right, and let's see how Beleos' final attempt goes and King Bean's final attempt.
Oh, Mageius restarted. He can't do that anymore.
Two 203.94 Beleos with the buzzer beater PB.
Yeah, 203.94.
Does King Bean manage it with this one? No, not Joe. He started at 1 second left.
No!
Oh, he does not
There he
manage
goes.
it.
Oh, Mageius got it. Nope, he's still restarting.
It's okay. We're just not counting any of these times. All right, he's aware. He's just kind of messing with it. We remember his time was the 226.9 something.
Yeah.
So let's give people the rundown of Grabvine Gateway. Just take a look at Metallica's screen. It looks like they literally just dropped a strand of spaghetti on a table and turned it into a track. But
It's
hard.
considered pretty much the hardest track of the whole game.
Yeah. And I'll talk everyone through kingbeandip's first attempt, because I believe he's going with just the safe no reset strat for the first one.
Yeah, and this track, most winding, most brutal.
Bullseye is the only option, basically.
Yeah, he's way faster than everyone else on this track.
Yeah. The only one who can remotely compete really is Neva Key, but that is still a massive disadvantage to pick.
Yeah, it's a track that favors raw agility over sheer boost and top speed.
That's a good take from Knock. This track design came out of a drunken after-work chat where they joked about how many consecutive hairpins they could make. But this track is I'm going to guarantee right now, this track is going to be the deciding factor of qualifying rankings. But it's the most stratified track in terms of skill level. But most players are most of the mid to high level players are hovering in the 420s range. World record's a 406, or is it 405 now? I don't remember. Yeah, he's got a 405.
Ace just knocked it down to 405.
Yeah, world record's a 405. Good starts at 430. It is a huge range.
I just gave a note to the runners to say, make sure to take a run with crashes for your first attempt. That's how brutal it is.
Yeah.
I just started doing that because I just started doing that after watching Nacho's practice stream before qualifying, because it is that brutal.
Knock. They had no idea how fast we'd be, but the original official guidebook for the game did list some dev times. So did the manual that came with N64 cartridges. I'll see if I can find those later. All right. Players have all given us the ready. If you want to give the countdown.
Okay.
Because I'm actually going to go see if they did have par times for Grabvine.
I'm whipping out my strategy guide since I still have the original printed one from back in the day.
I think they do. Wait, do you have the strategy guide or the N64 one?
The N64 strategy guide.
Okay, I think it's in there. Yeah.
Lap time is a 2:05, and a race time is 6:20.
Woof.
Put that in perspective, how far it's come. I actually beat that 6:20 with no upgrade bullseye.
Yeah. I mean, you can beat that time without boosting.
Yeah. And also, to put things into perspective, how crazy it's evolved, the original world record holder was Rudder Jansen back in 2005, and Ace, a runner whose name just left the community, and a few players have actually gotten faster than that fully upgraded bullseye time Rudder did with no upgrade bulls.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, so let's look at King B. He held a first important boost, but now we're coming into the canyon section. You have to take that turn, which is deceptively tight. There are a lot of invisible walls. And then it's this really windy switchbacky section which isn't the hardest or most windy for the track. Then you get a little bit of a breather with this open area. You just kind of boost through twice. And then you're into the jungle, which is very narrow and multiple tight turns. Like, you have this hairpin, then the second hairpin, and then it's the left into the super narrow track with the little kick out here. Then you get the swamp, which is the most, like, iconic hard bit of the game. You've just got to drift through everything. Ooh, that bonk sucks. And make it through that. That was pretty clean, honestly. He came out of the swamp at 104. And that was with a bonk. Ooh, Beleos actually taking the lower road on that little section. And King Bean looks like he's coming out of this one with a 125.75. Not an incredible lap 1 for his level, but it's a solid time. All right, Metallica going a little wide through all this. Ooh, clipping that corner. I just noticed, look at Mageius' screen. That's Toy Dampener, who is an incredibly stiffly handling pod. I don't know why he's going with Toy.
Yeah.
Beleos did make the sub-2 swamp exit.
You would only use this. You would only use Toy on this track and RTA with no upgrades.
Yeah. Or with upgrades at this point.
Yeah. He has excellent acceleration and braking, but he's really stiff.
Yep. Ooh, Beleos clipping that. King Bean taking the death in the swamp. Let's see if he goes through the rest of it cleanly. Alright, not too bad. He did take the death. Metallica, that little boost Metallica just held is deceptively important, actually. Because that is one of the ones that really lets you just max out your heat right before the canyon section. It lets you get an extra second, near second of boosting. Ooh, 127 lap 2 for King Bean. But Metallica looking good through the canyon. See what he can do going into the jungle, though. And no, entering this jungle is not fun in games.
It's so dark and disorienting.
It's made even worse by the fact that you typically are playing on 28 to 32 FPS on this track. And lower frame rate makes it way harder to see what's going on or react to it. So Metallica coming out of a swamp at a 105, which is okay. It's definitely something he can do a little faster, because 105 is right about where I can get. Let's see what we get for a lap time. It's probably going to be about a 27, 28.
127?
27.3. King Bean coming out of the swamp at 4 flats, so we're probably going to be looking at about a 420 out of him. So if he does get that, his safe strat fallback time is already good enough for current second place. Doesn't look like he's hitting 420 though. It's going to be a 421. And that, I believe, means... Yes, Nacho's second place time lives to fight another run. Let's see what he can do going forward. Metallica going into the lap 2 swamp. One good thing is the swamp is completely consistent between laps. There's no RNG changing anything.
Yeah.
One thing we did fail to mention, though, we'll talk about it on lap 3, on Metallica's lap 3, if he gets to it, is the shortcut that opens up in the canyon section on laps 2 and 3. Any runners of the game will know it's something similar to the tent on Ando Prime tracks. but it is a shortcut that only happens because a rock explodes at the start of lap 2.
I like to call it the Quake shortcut because it's announced by an earthquake.
Yeah. So you'll see Metallica here brake much harder than you do on lap 1 to go through all this, and then just take that little cut that opens up. It saves about 3 seconds, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's much harder on the third lap than the second lap because the second lap gives you the heads up with the game shaking, but you have to be intuitive on the third lap because there's no cue outside of the map.
That was a 125.08 lap for King Bean for lap 1. That's really solid. Ooh,
Oh
Metallica
my
with the
God.
Swamp Death. Oh, Mageius with the City Death.
It's so easy to crash here, particularly with Bullseye because he's so fragile.
Yeah. No, in my practice runs earlier, I was clipping walls for a single frame while not boosting and just instantly exploding. Alright, let's see King Bean's lap 2 swamp. He's coming up on it. It is always a fun thing to hit. Like, the swamp is one of the most satisfying things in the game to get right.
And Metallica coming in with a 421.653.
Nacho's time continues to stand!
And Dome Ray was just absurd on this. 408.
Yeah. King Bean is capable of beating that. He can get a 407. Like a PB from him gets him there. But that was a 25-23.
Nice.
This is looking like it's probably going to be a 411 at best.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he's capable of sub 410, but I'm suspecting anything between 410 to 415 for King Bean if he does it well.
That was a really fast shortcut though, like ridiculous.
And I know this track, I know how brutal it is. I know it's one of your most passionately hated tracks.
I mean, I've never hated it. I just was honestly, I never wanted to put the amount of time in that I knew it would take to learn it properly.
Aha.
But now I have been, and I have a lot of fun with it. Like, I've always found it fun, and it's always been my favorite casual track in the game.
I don't know. I've
But-
been playing this game for speedrunning so long. Okay, King Bean Dip's looking on at 4.
It's still totally possible to die here. And that is a 411.99.
411.992. So King Bean Dip
Sorry,
is now
Nacho.
second. King Bean Dip is now second. And my guess is that will probably be third place.
If that time is where he winds up as a final point, that is likely going to be third place. But again, he could totally get a sub 410, and this track is difficult enough that it's entirely possible that Ace doesn't make it. It doesn't make that cut.
Yeah. I mean, Domerai getting
the top
408
three
is
is-
absurd.
The top 3 is kind of wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confident Domerai and Ace are going to be the top 2, though.
More than likely, but
No. Honestly, Grapevine Gateway is my second most hated track after Abyss.
yeah, I mean, Abyss is just unfair. Grabvine is difficult.
Yeah. It's just
Grapevine
plain brutal
is-
fun.
Yeah. Grabvine is totally fair.
Yeah.
It's very
I'll take
hard,
Gra-
but that was
Yeah,
a high
I'll take-
10. Sorry, but that was a high 102 swamp exit for King Bean. He's going hard on this attempt. So let's focus up on that run. This is gonna be pretty tense.
Yeah. This track is always... Well, 124, first lap. Okay, that's really solid.
Malted Fox. In general, you want to max every upgrade except your traction, which you're going to want to vary per track. Bullseye and Bullseye Noir for, like Dom just said, Grabvine and Fire Mountain. This one being Grabvine. And Ben Quadraneros for literally every other track. That was another very fast shortcut for King Bean. Like, he's going for it right now.
Yeah, I know he's capable of it. I remember when he celebrated breaking the 410 mark, he said, I joined the 410 club.
Yeah. But Malted Fox upgrades are very linear in this game. You just want to max things out.
Apart from traction, for...
Yes. For a lot of strange reasons. Yeah, this is a... Wow, that's higher heat than his previous attempts from King Bean. He's going in for this one. It looked like his speed bottomed out at 340 in the swamp, which is really good. And that was another, like, mid 102, or that was like a minute in swamp exit.
Oh man, this is going to be a really fast second lap.
It's a new lap.
Yep, 122.
122.
So that puts him at just under 307 for those first two laps, or 247, I mean. So he can sub 410 here. That was a fast shortcut. And sorry we're not talking about the other ones right now, but this is a very, very insane pace. Or sorry, I shouldn't say insane. It's a ridiculous pace. He would need a 120 lap to beat Dom. He's not going to do that, but he could totally get a 121. It's not outside of his skill level. Especially with that. Man, good swamp so far. Can he make the last turn cleanly? He can. 47, this is looking 410. It's looking like a 409. We'll see what he gets,
Oh my god.
though.
He's just going flat out. Oh my god.
409.28.
409, my god! I think he actually PB'd there.
Yeah, that's a PB for King Bean. A real PB.
409.28. 409.285 for kingbeandip.
Let's look at Metallica. This is sub 420 pace.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Look at Metallica. This is I'm seeing a 418 happening here.
And
yep, 418.57 or 67.
So Nacho has been knocked down to 4th place.
I had to. But that's a 418.6 for Metallica. I think they're
like
both going to
7-2.
just opt to sit on those times. Which means we're going to have about 15 minutes of watching Beleos and Mageius try to show what they've got.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Look at Mageius here. This is a good lap time for him.
222.
That's a 215 lap for Mageius. That's really good for him.
Yeah.
That's a sub 7 pace.
Yeah.
Let me switch audio real quick since I forgot to do that. Let's go with Mageius.
And Metallica looks like he's going to go for another run.
Oh, let's go with Metallica then.
But, yeah. 409.285 for King Beandip. That is just insane.
That's absurd.
Because, yeah, I said that with Dumray. they're going to be. My guess is that it's probably going to. They're going to be Ace, Domre, and King Beandip are probably going to be off by maybe a second.
Yeah, I mean, King Bean is a little over a second behind Domre.
Yeah, but Ace is the only one I think can exceed this time of the ones left.
Banana Boat Kid probably can. I haven't seen him do Grabvine, but he is very, very good at the game.
Yeah, he got the Biscuit 3-lap record just by accident.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a 105 swamp exit for Metallica.
Okay, King Beandip's just having fun now.
Oh god, that's rats. Come on, dude.
He is so fond of using Rats Terrell.
That's no upgrades, rats.
Yes. He's really fond of using him. I think he's the player most fond of using Rats Terrell too.
Malted Fox, it does have an arcade cabinet, but it's a basically completely different game.
Yeah. It's also for the Game Boy Color, but also a very different game too.
Yeah. I believe Digital Unity was tassing the Game Boy Color version.
Yeah, I think he was TASing.
Yeah. All right, Metallica 201 outside of that second one. Out of the second canyon. That's not too bad. Let's see what he can pull off here, though. Like, 418's a high bar to beat that he set for himself. Yeah, Mageius is on pace to PB by like a minute. Which, hey, that's pretty solid. Beleos is also on pace to really improve his qualifying time. Ooh, Metallica's audio is freezing up a little bit. We'll see when that comes back. Metallica and Mageius are both freezing up a bit. We're gonna hop over to Beleos for a bit. Never mind, his audio's low. We're switching over to the gag audio of King Beandip.
Yeah, that's no upgrade, rats.
Yeah. Dom, don't go back to Grabvine Gateway. It's bad for you.
What can I say?
He's back over to Metallica. Oh man, Mageius is very explodey. Okay, Metallica looks to be either just shaking off his hands or taking his 418 and resting on it. Oh, Mageius is driving off the bridge, and Beleos driving into a wall.
Really easy to do if you don't tilt.
Oh yeah. But this is Mageius gonna sub 7?
Uh-oh!
He still can.
Please.
Oh.
Nope. 7 minutes exact! That's still better than 7:30. Oh my god.
Yeah, remember, his PB in tournament last year was 8 minutes 30 seconds. That was a minute and a half PB. Like, that is awesome improvement.
No kidding. I was really hoping he wouldn't get the penalty time, but he got 7.472, it looked like.
0.47. I thought.
0.47. Oh my god.
Oh no, 4.72. You're right. Alright, so everyone's still going at it though, like... Oh, except King Bean. Beleos with an actually pretty clean shortcut entrance.
Okay, King Beandip looks like he's just going to be doing a ridiculous time with NU rats.
I mean, yeah. He's good at no upgrades rats.
$205. Oh my god, I struggle to do that with no upgrade bullseye.
To be fair, no upgrade rats is actually pretty decent just because he has really good boost thrust.
He's tied with bullseye, actually.
Really?
Yeah, rats and bullseye are tied with boost thrust at 300.
Huh. Okay. Beleos looking like he's gonna get something all right here. Ooh, that's a tree root. Beleos has the theory for the swamp down. He's just doing it pretty slowly.
Yeah.
Like technique-wise, that was all correct. Like, not incredible play, but it was all correct technique.
And no upgrade rats, also I will tell you, is the slowest accelerated pod in the game.
As in slower than Beto?
Tied with Beto.
Ah. That is a 6:18:52 for Beleos.
618.521. 521.
That is solid.
Yeah.
Right. But still going. Got 7.5 minutes left on this track. Which means, theoretically, time for Mageius to complete another run. Metallica's still really going at it, and there's another half hour of gauntlet after this.
That's a lot different track, much straighter.
Yes, but it's still another half hour of pod racing after.
Oh my
It's gonna be
god!
it's a lot of hands.
You got 16, 619.
You got 619.
With no
He beat the
upgrade
dead
rats.
goal time.
He beat the dead goal time with no upgrade rats. Oh my god, that is ridiculous.
Like, he had to, like, that's just perfect timing. Wait, is he going back and doing another?
It looks like it.
Do it. Ooh, Metallica wide through that first switchback in the swamp. And wide through there. That was not the best swamp. That was a 106 exit. Alright, it looks like Kingbean's not going to do another one. He's just kind of chilling on that screen. Oh no, but he is going. Yeah, no, he's just giving another shot. Just wait, he's going to 407. Yeah, Metallica with that 128 lap 1, that's not really happening.
Oh, he's serious
We
about
now
it.
go back to kingbeandip's audio. All right. But, I mean, Kingbean has shown he can. Oof. He has shown that he has a 407 in him.
The current record holder for this.
He just hasn't been able to grind it out. He hasn't had the time to grind it out or really get up there. But he is right up there with the best of the best.
Yeah, I also know too he's fond of this track too.
Yes. He did a task of like a max upgrades bullseye task with this track and got a sub 4-minute run with it. So this track still has some room to go, but it is impossible to match a task across the track like this. But I don't like using the term impossible in speedrunning, but that one is about as close as you're going to get. 43 swamp entrance. That's looking like one of my runs. That's not exactly ideal for King Bean if he's trying to go for 408.
.105 with the swap for Metallica.
In general, for chat, if you're looking at benchmarks, to get a 128 lap 1, I'm typically getting a 43 to 44 second jungle entrance and a 106 to 108 swamp exit. Like, that's kind of what it takes for a sub 130 lap. It's alright. But we're coming down to the wire. It's only 3.5 minutes left.
It's insane.
Yeah, this is real fast. Ooh. So, it's a bit of a subtle thing. But that little pillar turn before the canyon section, is deceptively impactful, because you can start that boost really early if you don't get much height off the jump. But it's not the biggest impact. It is just a little bit more heat that you can use at the start of the lap. Ooh, 124.4 for Metallica with a 27 lap 1. That's 415, potentially.
Well, it caught fire, repaired it quick. That's another problem with low frame rates and bullseye. It's really easy to catch fire and it linger.
Yes. Quick description for chat. It is a 3% chance every frame you're repairing to put out an engine fire. The lower your frame rate, the longer it takes on average. Beleos looking all right for this attempt. Didn't catch what his PB was in this setup. 618, so he's not getting it this time, but that's not a bad run. Metallica looking really good still on this run. Let's see what his swamp's like. It's the big make or break point at this bit. All right, speed looks to have bottomed out at 330, 325. 355 swamp exit, though. That is potentially a PB for him. There's a 418.67. Let's see what he manages here. Regardless, I think it's likely his last attempt. I don't see him going for one in the final minute. That is a PB, 417.52.
That is
really solid.
417.52.
521, according to him telling us in Discord. Mageius looking really good. He's on sub 7 pace again. Even with that death. So let's look at Mageius' ending.
And even if he crashes, he's gonna crush it.
Not necessarily. Yeah, with the crashes would have been close. If he doesn't, this is 654? Yes.
Yep, 654.05.
6. Hey, Mageius broke a minute barrier, guys. He broke sub 7 and sub 8 in one stream.
Time
King
is
Bean
up.
on his second lap. Time is up. That is everyone's on their final attempt.
Up. Just make... 654. I didn't catch that. 654.065, it looks like. Maybe just can't restart.
It's fine. We just don't count this one. Don't worry about it. Now, King Bean, we got to see what his time crossing the line is. You don't have to ping him on that one. It's, he knows.
122.
And it was
could possibly
246 crossing the line. This could do it.
all depends on this final lap. I am always tense on the final lap, and this track is probably the most tense final lap in the game.
Yeah. All right. That was a good shortcut entrance. Good canyon. He can 408. And it was a hot, and yeah, like, he can 408. Let's see what happens. Okay. Sorry about the dead air here, but that is a good swamp. 347. Okay.
This is gonna be close.
Oh yeah, this is right on the line. Doesn't look like it. Oh!
Oh, what a bummer! Did he crash to the finish? Yeah, he crashed to the finish and didn't quite make it.
409 even with that. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Still, we saw multiple PBs on Grabvine Gateway. Now, time for the final track of qualifying. The Gauntlet. You are racing through death row of a prison planet. Well, prison asteroid, but who's counting?
Which the prison runs chock full of ore to delight them.
All right. Beleos did start this one right after the timer, so it's not going to count, I don't think. But we don't exactly have the best way to reach him. He doesn't have his pings available. So we're going to have to give it a moment. It's fine. It'll just take about a minute. All right. So, gauntlets. What should everybody know? It is it is the longest track by distance in the game. Like, just flat out, by distance it's the longest track. It takes Ben 5 minutes to get through it. If you've played this game before, you're probably familiar with the Uvu anti-gravity tubes. This track has one of the hardest ones of those. It has a lot of like really cool jumping and off-road strats, but at its core, it's a very chill, very simple track that's just very long.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the easiest invitational track, I would say.
I call it a coin flip between Gauntlet and APC, or Ando Prime Centrum.
Yeah. Almost all the difficulties in the final tube.
Yeah.
Because the tracks have rotating gates, which can change faster than your frame rate and you can react. And they put the rotating gate on this track at the start of the tube, which is absolutely terrifying because of how terrifying tilting can be in the tubes.
Yeah. Alright, so on this track, people are going to be typically running at like 48 frames a second. Is what you can usually expect for it.
Yeah.
All right. Appears people are ready for the countdown if you want to throw that in.
Okay.
So look for a sub 5-minute time potentially from King Bean and probably a 502, 503 from Metallica.
Yeah. World record is about just under 459.
Yeah, it's like 458.8 or something.
Yeah. And Domeray actually got 459, which is crazy.
Yes, Mike, you do have to upload all your times. I want to see how close I actually am to you on Bunta training. And this course is not really spaghetti. It's a lot of long straights and a couple of major bends.
Yeah. The off-road part is the biggest deciding factor here.
Here we go. King Bean is off to the races, as are Metallica and Beleos. Let's see what this one's like. There is that little slot boost you got to make early, which isn't too hard. Then you got to hold this boost through this whole little tube. Then you take this jump King Bean's about to hit without boosting. Start boosting the instant you hit the ground and take this long jump that puts you on a bit of fake off-road, where you can then charge another boost over this real off-road to take a shortcut.
Yeah.
Which you see Metallica and King Bean both do very cleanly. 45 and Metallica's actually slightly ahead of King Bean at this point. He did take the slower route though, so I think that lead is mostly gone. Do 1 minute exiting, or 1 minute to 101 exiting there. No, that Metallica's still slightly ahead. Not doing bowl jump though, so like we gotta see. But this has been a really crazy start for Metallica.
King Bean Dip's going for the bowl jump while Metallica isn't. About the same speed.
King Bean is nearly 128 going into the tube. Metallica is about half a second behind that. Ooh, Beleos, that's a wall. Mageius, that's also a wall. Deathless tubes for King Bean and Metallica. King Bean with a 141.01. Metallica
This is
with a
gonna be a crazy fast first lap.
That's really good for both of them.
141, almost exact. That's really solid for a first lap. 141 from Metallica.
To answer a question in chat, no skips are allowed in this qualifying session.
Yeah. This is a skip that I actually remember making public back in the day.
Oh, you were the one who found this one?
Mike actually did it before me, but he kept it classified, so I skip hunted for it and then made it public.
Awesome.
And I still remember I was talking to Mike back in the day. I remember announcing it. I took it down since then, but I said, "Come on, Mike, cough it up."
King Bean.
I said to Mike, "Come on, cough it up. I'm sure this is your shortcut." I was also the first one to do it with Ben, who's a lot dicier than Mars.
Oh no, Daniel, there are some crazy glitches in this map. Like, this skip has original gauntlet skip, Then we have what we call Dwayne Skip, which is just bouncing off a rock. And then there's Dwayne Skip Skip. And there's effectively Dwayne Skip Skip Skip.
Yeah, the fastest one involves doing a 180, then boost jumping on a rock. $141 for Metallica.
That's really good. He's on 503 pace. But this is a really good pace for Metallica. Ooh, okay, he almost screwed that bit up. But this is looking really good for Metallica. Ooh, King being a little aggressive there, buddy.
That's where I tend to die often on that track. It's
Yeah,
really
that
easy.
turns- That turn specifically really tends to mess with people, and I don't know why. But the fact that Metallica's getting this with, like, the safe strats is really impressive. Like, it is absurdly fast. Like, he could 502 here. He was on 503 pace going into this lap. But if he holds the boost through the tube as much as he can, and sorry, bitrate always goes to hell in these tubes. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, he held boost through the tube. He's getting a high heat finish. 502.
77.
That is absurdly fast. That's good for second place right now.
502.771.
Yeah, like, and he can beat that too. He took safe strats through everything. All right, let's see. Does King Bean die on this turn again? No, he doesn't. Does he manage to hold this boost? Which is deceptively tricky. Yep, got it. And going into the tube. Made it through there. One more troublesome rock, and he makes it past. Not an incredibly fast lap.
It's a new
That is, okay, that's pretty good.
140?
Never mind, it looked a lot slower than I thought. It looked a lot slower than it was to
140
me.
is absurd for a first lap.
Yeah, 140 is very good. I misread what he was at. And penalty time on this track is 7 minutes, 30 seconds.
And Mageius is showing a part of the track that usually isn't seen that much in the prison compound. You will see it on Executioner, though.
Well, that was a lot of height for King Bean. Like, if he manages to hold this and hold this pace, this is very possibly sub 5. Which I also know for a fact Metallica can get. He just played it really safe there. Oh, he didn't manage to hold it. That turn is really hard to do, the like level split strat.
Yeah. Usually, that is one of the most punishing turns if you land on it. Because my experiences from doing that is that if you fall on the bottom level and you don't plan to, you just crash or take heavy damage at the minimum.
It's a one-frame kill most of the time. It's like the death wall on Scrapper's Run. Which you can survive, but it still kills the majority of the time. Ooh, fire from King Bean. Got put out pretty quick, though. And Metallica looking like a 141 lap 1? Yeah, 141.3. Hard to tell with his bit rate.
141.
Ooh, King Bean not really gaining any time with that from the little bonk. Little wide on the bowl jump, but totally fine. This one's probably not going to be a 140 lap 1, but it'll likely be a low 141. See where it's at, though, because it's always really tricky to tell until you get to, like, the real benchmarks. And this track doesn't have quite as... doesn't have them, like, quite as nailed down, at least I don't have them as nailed down here. No, it's still 140. Nice. Just a higher one.
Yeah, 140 first lap is pretty absurd.
Yeah, it's very, very strong. This little jump strat, when we found it, everyone was very confused for a second as to how all of this wound up working. Because the fake off-road is just bizarre. It's one of, I think, 2 or 3 instances in the entire game with, like, true fake off-road.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's really boost.
Yeah. It's like, it's what, just here in Beleos? Metallica with a 140.7 lap 2. Oh, and King Bean just saying screw it to the bottom split. Ooh, another wide bowl jump, but still totally fine. Yes, Nacho, Beleos has fake off-road. There are a couple others where it's like a small bit, like the dark stripes on the side of Spice Mine Run. Yes, right after the ice fields, guys. Alright. Does he make it deathless through the tube? But good past the first big rock, and good past the second. This might be a 139 lap 2.
It's a new lap.
It
Yep,
is.
139.92. If he does another 139, he quite possibly could break the 5-minute mark.
He absolutely can, because lap 2 and lap 3 have very different heat endings. If he finishes with the same kind of heat Metallica did at the end of his completed lap 3, we're looking at something really fast.
Yeah. And then also, with this off-road shortcut, the trick is to use the booster as sparingly as possible so you can boost all the way down it.
Mm-hmm.
It's even more integral with no upgrades.
Metallica's on pace to match what he got.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got
he's on
lucky.
pace. 502? Low 502. 502.29. But yeah, King Bean can absolutely get like barely sub 5 here. It's gonna be tricky. We've got to see what his line looks through here. That was wide. That's gonna hurt. That wasn't wide though.
But the most important part is that he held the boost all the way.
Yeah,
Does he survive the tube?
he does. High heat.
This is...
No. Oh.
It's a new
509, but that's still second place.
5 minutes and
50.0595.
just 0.095.
0.095.
That is really good. I mean, we know he can sub 5. He's done it before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And that puts him only like 0.6 of a second behind Dumray.
Yeah. He can't catch Dom now at this point, though. He would have to save 2.5 seconds over that, which means he would have to world record by over a second.
And this track has been pretty maxed out.
Yeah.
Right.
Filter, skips. Yeah, he would have to world record by over a second, which just isn't realistic. But... Ooh, that was a really nice line through that split. And he's going for the... Still going for the old bull jump. New one was literally just found yesterday.
Yeah,
good start to the lap, though.
Yeah, that new bull jump I heard is done at much lower frame rates, which makes it really dicey for the tube.
It's like, I think it's done at like 3620. It's not too crazy. It's low, but that's basically what you do Grabvine on.
Okay, this is gonna be a really fast first lap. This is nuts.
Yeah. It's a little faster than his
40.
previous. It's not his fastest lap one of the night, though. Now, let's take a look down at Metallica and Beleos. They've got both, or not Metallica, Mageius and Beleos. They had, Beleos has set a time. He got a 650.5. Mageius has not set a time yet for this track. But it looks like it's going to be kind of like Doug Derby. He's going to be bumping right up against the penalty line. Ooh, that's an engine fire, too. King Bean with a super clean split hairpin. And Beleos looking like it's going to be a PB?
Yep, 647.
Yes, Beleos PB'd by
2.5.
He PB'd by about 2.5.
647. 647.
Yeah. So King Bean, it was a 140.6 for lap 1. See what his lap 2 is. It's looking really good. 39.
Yep, 139.
This is not bad. This is on pace to be even faster than last time. Metallic is also on a really solid pace here right now.
Well, that's a death you don't usually see fall right into the toilet bowl.
Eh. We've had much weirder in every tournament. Metallica's still doing a couple of like older strats. Like they still work fine, but it's faster to go left on this little canyon split that King Bean did. He also does a slightly slow line through bull jump. Does he do it? Yes, King Bean clean through the hairpin split. This is on pace. He's just got to not mess it up. Oof. But yeah, this is low 459 pace. Oh, Mageius doing his classic and going back to the settings.
This is tense watching kingbeandip.
Okay, one more rock. And he dodges it.
Oh, he's gonna break it! This is gonna be crazy.
58? No, not even close. But
59.27, my god! I think that's a PB for him.
Ow.
And I think he just topped Dom right there. 459.629. That's like less than half a second off the world record. Less than half a second off the world record. My god!
Yes, it was. I'm going to switch audio over to Metallica for a bit. Let's focus on him for a little while, see how he's doing on it. Because he's in the 502s. And yeah, Dom no longer has first place. No longer has first place on every track.
And that was an outright PB for kingbeandip because he just broke sub 5 just recently.
That's 2 PBs on the night for kingbean.
And on the most yeah, and they are the most critical tracks of the qualifying run because they're so long.
And hope you all like Duel of the Fates, because Metallica plays with music on. And if you don't like Duel of the Fates, you're wrong.
I would say it's probably the best track of the prequel trilogy, easily.
Yeah, Battle of Heroes is really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, from my opinion, all the soundtracks for the original trilogy and prequel trilogy were fantastic.
Yeah, the sequel trilogy's soundtracks were all kind of fine, but they were all reused and used badly in the films. Like the songs themselves are all fine.
Yeah, I thought the soundtrack for the sequel trilogy was very stilted, and I felt the original and prequel were more free-flowing.
Yeah. Well, the songs were just all really oddly used, but we're getting off track.
Yeah.
Alright, Metallica's looking good on this lap. Mageius? What? Okay. Mageius?
He hit one of the asteroids, too.
Yeah, Metallica 141.35 on lap 1. That's pretty good. So Metallica looking really good. If he can keep this clean, it can bring this time even lower. 502.3 is really good, but it can be improved on. Again, he's using some outdated strats, but he's still looking really good. But yeah, kingbean is also going super aggro. Like this looks like a world record attempt out of him.
Yeah, he already came within 0.6 of it.
And that's across 5 minutes of driving. But there's no way he catches up to Dom, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, he is doing the new strats.
Didn't work out.
I don't know. If he gets a clean one with that... I have no idea where the ceiling is with that change.
And Beleos is coming in to... Even with that crash, he's going to shatter his previous record.
Let's look at Metallica, though. He's about a second ahead of his last attempt.
Going into the final lap. And 639.37 for Beleos. 371.
So, if the new jump saves 0.3 per lap, like if it does save 0.3 per lap done well and he nails it, it's a non-zero chance. I'm not saying it's far off zero, but it's not zero. Because he's got half a second left before record. and then save the extra second on top of it. Yeah, that basically gets there. And, well, let's look at Metallica, though. If he survives this tube, he's on pace for 501.
He does.
And, yeah, he gets it. 50178.
It's a new lap record.
That's pretty damn good. Also, I didn't see. Did King Bean actually get the new jump this attempt? I was looking at Metallica.
I wasn't looking either. We will
Oh,
know.
so yeah, he doesn't have the half second. Yeah, I would have to save 0.4 a lap. Let's see what he gets on this lap. We're going to switch back over to King Bean. Okay, yeah. Didn't really save the time. And he knows that. Mageius looking like he's not going to beat the penalty time this attempt. Almost a deathless tube from him, though. Assuming he dodges these last couple, which he does not. But he doesn't die to it because he was still invulnerable. Yeah, that's the thing. He would have to be super clean on the new strat and do everything else perfectly. It's not realistic that he does it. But it is not literally impossible, I don't think. But we'll know within the next few minutes. That's all right. Very tight line. Only a slight bonk. Oh, he's going with the old strat. And not taking it super clean. I mean, it's definitely worth trying at this point. Like, it's his only, like, strong, realistic avenue to improve. $140.96, that's not incredible. He didn't underheat, so didn't technically lose that much there. But I don't see it happening here. Metallica, we'll see where he winds up on this one. Gonna be pretty close. And Mageius is not beating the penalty time on this attempt. Which is unfortunate. 41.44. That's only half a second behind King Bean on King Bean's last lap one. With a couple of slower strats. King Bean, that is the best level split he's gotten all night.
Oh dear, the penalty time has been reached.
I mean, I'm looking at King Bean dip. Man's gaming.
$7.49. Oh no.
He did finish a run. But, okay, this is really good for King Bean. I think that's a 39 lap one, or lap two?
139.59.
With the right... Ooh, that was wide. With a really strong lap three, he could technically bring it down a little bit more. Not by much, but there is a window. Good. He didn't quite underheat, but it was close. So he's going very risky here. Metallica with a 140.28. Okay, good from King Bean.
Oh, that was a close call.
Yeah, that was sketchy. Decent bowl jump. This has potential. See where this winds up, because we're coming down to the wire here, folks.
Oh my god. This is gonna be crazy.
He didn't
Not
quite do it.
but he's. Hey, he should submit that. The lap record though. My god, 138.
That was a really good lap.
Okay.
Record holder for this track is Beleos.
Yeah, that's good for third on the one lap leaderboard. Yeah, King Bean could totally world record without making too many improvements. 5:01.21 for Metallica that we totally missed.
Oh, that's
half a second. That takes his total qualifying time down to an 11:33.
yeah. Okay, the time is up.
No more resets.
No more resets, and I don't think we have any time for interviews at the current pace.
No, we do not, unfortunately. Let's see what's going on with Beleos, though. This is on pace for an improvement for him. His best prior was a 6:39. King Bean's on his final run. Mage is on his final run. Beleos on pace for another final run best. Though it's getting dicier and dicier as he goes. Let's take a look at his tube. Oh, he's just spinning out of control. Yeah.
That's really easy to do at low frame rates, particularly when you tilt.
Yeah, he's
at low frame rates, it's certain death.
He's playing at a really low frame rate too. 30 on Gauntlet.
Jeez.
626.84. That's a 12.5 second PB.
That's insane. Yeah. The 24 frames per second tilting in those tubes is like certain death.
I mean, it's definitely survivable. It's just really hard. Another really good lap one for King Bean. I absolutely should have brought another water bottle over here when we started. Ah. Mageius, I don't see this attempt really beating a penalty either. But we'll see. Yeah, this is looking dicey for Mageius. King Bean with... Oh, that is
that not
seals it.
good.
Yeah, there's no beating it from there, I don't think. Well, actually, theoretically, he can totally not take any damage there, and he only had to repair for a couple of frames. That's technically doable. Beleos doing some cooldown
Inferno.
runs on Inferno.
Inferno's a hot and hard track.
I'm surprised you guys didn't pick that one.
basically we didn't want to overlap with Gravine Gateway.
Yeah.
We also thought, too, it might be a nice cooldown from Gravine Gateway because of how brutal and winding it is.
Yeah. Well, Kingbean managed to find 2 very low impact places to repair, so that shouldn't impact his time too heavily. But it's really hard to tell at this spot on the track. It's going to depend on this split, and then his... Whew, he almost did it again. He almost did it again.
Got really lucky with that, too. You got really lucky with that thing.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I could see him being like a 5 flat here, but that repairing really messed with him.
Gotta be a nail biter.
Nope.
Not enough. Still sub 5.
If he hadn't had that repair, that would have been a 458.
That's insane. And look, and the match is now over.
Yep. Sadly, we're not going to have time for interviews tonight. We are literally just now hitting our time slot. So, just as a really quick outro, thank you to all 4 of our competitors tonight. We had some really incredible times. Thank you to everyone for coming out to watch. It's been a fun ride. Thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting, and thank you, Game Draco, for joining us on commentary.
Good luck. May the force be with you.